You are now listening to the Cheatcoders podcast with Natz and Raf.
Good morning, good evening, everybody. It's Nathan here, my co-host. Not my co-host, my bad. Raf, my friend, the other half of the Cheatcoders. Welcome to the Cheatcoders. This is episode
28.
28. And obviously, we're getting the groove. I've got a wire this time, just to, obviously no more technical problems like last time. And yeah, here we are. I did my hair for this one. Yeah. Raf's got a hat this time.
So we just switched the whole thing up. You got your Slick Back Friday happening.
Yeah, exactly.
It's morning there,
and we both,
night over here.
And we both, yes, we switched it this time. As you can tell, I'm a bit more loud this time because obviously before it was nighttime in the UK. And I was like talking like a mouse because obviously, I don't want to be too loud when everyone's sleeping. And Raf just lives with his wife and he can make as much noise as he wants.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
to a degree. We both took showers at the same time, obviously in different time zones. But that's the preparation that goes into this sort of thing.
Yeah. The preparation, we get the Eye of the Tiger playing. And we start, moving our muscles, jumping up and down, warming up, just to sit down and just talk a lot of shit.
Shaking my fingers, for all the typing, for all the comments.
The RSI just happening and everything. It's going to be crazy.
Anyway. Well, we're going to stop talking to this imaginary audience that obviously are going to watch this later. How you been, Raf?
Been all right since last time. I just got a story, I think, because we're moving at the moment. We're moving places, so we had to switch to electricity. And then I think the person who was on the other line, the electricity guy who was pretty much organizing the transfer, thought I was a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Do I sound like a girl? Maybe I do. Maybe on the phone it's a higher tone. But the way he kept calling me ma'am. And it's funny because it's like, okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I'm full like, okay, I'm just playing along because I can't be bothered dealing with this shit. Because maybe he was saying man, but then again, if you're like,
why would he say man?
Yeah, no. If you're a telemarketer, it's not a telemarketer, but like someone that's on the phone line, it's not professional.
Was the customer service person a lady or a?
No, it was a guy,
a male,
a guy sounding like about I think his late 20s and stuff. Didn't seem like he cared about his work, but. It is what it is. And then he just kept calling me ma'am, like, okay, what's the house address again, ma'am? And I'm like, all right, cool. Because I said my first name, because my first name's René, which is a French guy's name, but then it could be conceived as René. And then I said...
It could be,
yeah. And then I said, like, it's under my wife's name. So, I said wife. I thought that would be enough. But then I realized that gay marriage is now legal in Australia. So that kind of stuffed me up. So... I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying.
No, but if you said it was your wife, that would mean you're a male.
No, it could, but then again, I'm saying that gay marriage has been legalized now. So if I say wife, and I could be a girl as well.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I'm sorry for some reason. Look, no disrespect. When I think gay marriage, I just think two guys. I completely forgot about the lesbian community. Yeah. Can we cut that part of the video? Can we cut that? My bad. Okay.
No, we're gonna keep that in. But
hey, look. Answer your question. I don't think you sound like a guy. You sound like a guy. I don't think you sound like a girl. Like I'm listening to you right now on headphones. So this is essentially a phone call. But a lot of those elements could be true. Like I don't think you sound like a girl? What the hell? That guy's retarded. But I'll tell you now. Look, I've worked in customer service for pretty much like 10 years. And when I was in the call center, I've had a lot of instances where that's happened. And literally, because when you're a call center operator, you just get marked on a sheet of specific things. Like you say, ma'am or sir, you have to say it 5 times. There's like a bunch of stupid rules when you're in this part of customer service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the way you answer the phone, the length of the convo. Sometimes it doesn't even truly matter about having a convo. That you're literally designed to be a robot. I came over a really weird predicament because literally I got a phone call and I actually didn't know if it was a girl or a guy. Like the person speaking's voice was so like. Once again, the name thing, like, I was like, this could be a girl or a guy's name. Like, it could be a name like Jamie or something,
Yeah.
And the voice was so high. Literally, because you're getting marks on these things, like, it didn't occur to me, like, I couldn't ask, because that might be offensive. And I had to say ma'am or sir. Because the script, like, I would get marked down for not saying. So I was put in a position where I was like, flip a coin, take a guess. And then I said, okay, thanks, ma'am. And I kept saying ma'am. And eventually 5 minutes in, it's like, why do you keep calling me ma'am? And like literally the customer like blew up at me. And I was like, fuck.
I should have done that.
I'm gonna get done. I was like, I'm gonna get done at work for this. But you know what I mean? Because of that stupid ass rule, they could make like an exception. But I knew I was gonna get like, oh, you didn't say ma'am or sir. It's like, what, you want me to guess? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, well, keep a long story short. At the end of
maybe he was in that position.
At the end of the day, I'm just adding to my my misidentity and all that stuff. As in, like, I get called an Indian, I get called a ma'am,
A female.
and I get called.
I don't even know why you admit this, man. You do know this is a public podcast.
Yeah, man, this is content. I just got a story. I just got a story to tell. This is so fresh. It happened like 2 hours ago. Do you have a topic? Do you want to talk about in particular?
Let me get my trusted notepad out here. Okay. I'll be completely transparent and completely honest, Raf. You know I don't work. Well, I do this, which I consider as my work now. Doesn't really pay anything yet. But you work. I don't even know how this relates to you, but maybe you can just give me some tips. Should I do it to you or the cat? No, I'll do it here. All right. What do you do? What did I say? What do you do to inspire yourself when you're not inspired? No, literally, like, just give it to me
Writer's
raw.
block. Cool.
Like, it can be writer's block. It can be your video. Like, I know you're starting to get inspired again, but like, look,
Yeah.
I don't want to go to like the whole. We're doing this podcast and that inspires me to do this. We've already gone over that. I need tangible examples, like literally things that you'll do to get out of your comfort zone. There's a few things, and I'll tell you a story later, like what's something that happened to me after like 2 days of not having any inspiration at all. And I obviously thought of this topic a few days ago, but I sort of answered my own question by gaining some random inspiration this morning. But I'm just curious to know what, from the top of your head, what have you ever done that just bang, suddenly you're like back. You've got the spark.
I don't know. Right now, I can't think of a specific example. All I can think about is the fact that when I am uninspired, I have to take a break from everything, because there's many reasons why you're uninspired. It's probably because you're working on the same thing over and over again. Say music in your case, you keep hearing the same voice, same vocals. Then you start nitpicking everything, because then that's what happens, and then you have to just try and take a break from it.
It just sounds
view
shit.
it again. Like when my videos, I have to try and I keep looking at the same thing. I have to take a break from it, like
Literally look
a day
away
or
from
two.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like if you work on something too much, then you'll lose inspiration. Then you have to take a break, and then you'll be like,
you get
okay,
sick of
pop
it.
back into it. Yeah. So in my cases, this I'm gonna use this as an example because this is probably the freshest one. When I was uninspired, I didn't know what to do, and I just kept doing the same thing over and over again. Then I realized I have to do something different, something in the same field, something in the same kind of area to keep me inspired. But like when I lose that inspiration, then you have to do something else that's relating to it.
Are you talking about how you got into video? Like that's how you segued into video? You're like, I need to do something else because I've been doing this music thing.
Oh well, the video thing came naturally, as in like I was still inspired to do music, and then the video thing, it was something to like motivate me to keep doing music, and then it just shift, as in like now I'm doing video constantly. And then probably I have two things. It's good to have two things that bounce off each other. When you're uninspired in one thing, you can do the other thing, and then just keeps bouncing as long as they stay hand in hand. So with me is music, video, and then if I don't do video, maybe I could find inspiration doing music, because all this creativity needs an outlet of some sort. There's different outlets, whether it be different mediums, different ways to express your thing. So like maybe in your case, that's probably what you're doing. You're uninspired in music, so you take it out on vlogs because you need your creativity to just be out there into the world.
Rotate, but sort of in the related space of what you're doing. So it's not completely left field.
As long as you have a spine to everything, and it goes through just one central hub, everything just like say your central hub, probably media or hip hop or whatever, and then everything different branches out from it, whether it be rap music and then songs, vlogs, travel, and then different inspirational outlets or writing, because maybe you don't have to write a song when you're stuck on when you have a writer's block with songs. Maybe you write a vlog, actual blog,
and actually just talk about it. Just talk about it. Get it out there. Talk about it, because it's all human. It's all authentic. And I think like even mistakes are good to sort of show. Like that's why I've sort of thought about keeping the whole vlogging thing a bit more constant and just at least get it out there. Like, even if it's like zero, at least like it's showing what I'm sort of thinking and doing exactly what we're doing now with the Cheatcoders as well. The reason I asked, because I asked about your week as well. We didn't get too deep in the week, but it's a good way to sort of gauge, right? We do these on a Friday, coming to the end of the week. It's been exactly a week since we last talked, and I can just think objectively this entire week where when we last spoke, in my mind I had this idea that I would have finished a short film that I've done and my entire mixtape. Big reach, but I literally saw that in a practical sense, like, I'm gonna do it. We're here now and I haven't done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's and like I've just realized, like, what have I been doing? Like, what's the missing key? What do I do that keeps me from getting to that goal? And I've realized, like, I'm not gonna lie, Friday is when we last did this, last Friday.
I think it was last Saturday.
Last Saturday was Saturday? I don't know. Maybe Saturday.
It doesn't matter, but
it doesn't matter. The week's there. You start off here and then you get burnt out, and I've literally seen that I've had some days I've blacked out and done nothing. I'm just sitting there like dabble on an idea, sometimes avoiding certain ideas because I know it's there and I need to do it. But when I do it, it doesn't come out good because I'm burnt out from it. So I try and do something else. You kind of keep rotating. And it got to a point, basically the last 2 or 3 days, I've been at home this whole week. Since we've talked, I have not left this premises. As in, it's
kept in in a cave like a hermit.
I've been in a cave.
Like
I've been just like in my mind, just constantly like I can't say I've been the most productive, but then in the end of it, I actually have, because the way I've sort of looked at things and how I've learnt to balance and manage my work, if that makes sense. But the more I do it,
kind of like these creative epiphanies, we could call it. They just pop out of nowhere. Like you can't expect it to just happen constantly.
It.
You know,
that's exactly it, Raf. Yeah, that's
especially with you. You have so much time in your hands, so you're trying to find inspiration constantly, like 24/7.
It's insane. It's actually quite. It's overwhelming, dude. The more time you have, the more time you have to think, to doubt. And then some days, like, I've literally written off whole days, and you don't understand the kind of guilt I have when I think, like, okay, one, I didn't even go out. Like, I could have used this time to at least do something that's, like, fun. You know what I mean? That it could be just watching TV the whole day or go out for the sake of it. But I didn't. Instead, I locked myself in a room trying to do something, like, forcing it, and nothing happens. You know what I mean?
And the crazy thing is that you think that you're doing nothing, but at the same time, you are doing something in a way that, because like you're waiting for that inspiration to happen. Sometimes you just have to lock yourself out in a room because like
that's it.
You just have to keep working on stuff until something just pops and hits.
It just happens, yeah.
Yeah, well, when something just pops out, that's when it snowballs into something.
The point I'm raising, we talked about this offline before, like these epiphanies and ideas I had, they literally just came at the most random time. Like, literally this morning, because I knew we had scheduled this podcast that we were going to do, I was like, all right, you know what? Friday's a write-off. I'm going to just do this podcast. At least I can focus on that. That's something that's going to happen. I'm going to wake up, freshen up, go to the gym, and maybe hit up town after, like, literally go to London. Like, I'm thinking of even going now after this podcast, just to, like, have some me time, like, drink a coffee or shop or whatever. You know what I mean? When I went
need a break, bro.
But when I was
need a break.
This is the funny thing. I'm telling you now, the moment I alleviated that stress, right? I was like, that's it. I'm done. Today is a write-off. At least I can do this podcast with Raf. I went to the gym, the garage, the home gym. When I was doing weights, that's when I thought of that epiphany. I hardly worked out. I did a few weights. I was thinking of, like, I was playing some beats. I wrote a whole verse while I was there. And before I knew it, this whole idea came to me. And now I'm fueled again just from that. And now I don't even want to go to the city. Like, literally, like, I was like, why did, like, it makes you wonder, like, why didn't that come the past 3 days that I've just been sitting here, like, what am I doing? And just in a loop of doing random shit that hasn't really completed, that I know I have to do, but hasn't finished itself. You know what I mean? It's just funny how the mind works in that sense. And now, like, I might actually stay home again because I've thought of that idea and I want to work on it. But it just comes at the weirdest times. And this is why I wanted to bring up this topic. And I wanted to ask you tangible reasons. And what I mean by tangible, like, how many times have you, like, back in the day when we used to do music and rap, yeah? Oh, anyway, sorry, continue. How many times have you thought of, like, you've sat down trying to write a verse and nothing comes out, but the moment you get in the shower, or the moment you start driving, or the moment you actually have to do something, like, all right, I have to, like, study for this exam now, or I have to actually sleep now because I've got an early start for this, it suddenly comes at the worst time. It's like when timing is imminent. It's like, now it has to happen. It shits me. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. Okay, there were some situations when I'm filming music videos, and then at the time I'm just not feeling it. Like, the location's not right, the angles I'm shooting are not right. Nothing's just coming together. Nothing's becoming aligned. No stars are being aligned. And then when I get home, that's when I realize, oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have done this. It's because I think because the whole stress. I think this is coming down to stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety. When it comes to that, when they come into your creativity and your creative thoughts, it just blocks everything out, and then you have to relieve that stress somehow. Like in your case, you went to the gym, you worked out. That's kind of like releasing endorphins and relieving your stress.
Yep.
Therefore,
nothing else to think of.
Nothing.
That's it. And it just came.
Yeah. When you're continually trying to fight the writer's block, you're just blocking your brain even more. Yeah. And in my case, when I'm continually trying to film a certain scene over and over and over and over again, it just starts to build the anxiety and the stress, and then it just doesn't work out at the end. I have to talk to the artist, be like, it's not working out today, can we reschedule?
Exactly.
You know, sometimes
you got to be real. You got to be.
Doesn't.
That's what it is, and that's the thing with I guess with being a creative, or like trying to do creating anything. This can relate back down to content or whatever. It's sometimes like, you do need to have the business side behind it. Like, of course, when money's on the stake, like, you've scheduled this time, you've got the equipment. But some days when it's just not working, it's just not working. It's just, you just got to let it. That's what art is, in a sense. It's a moment that happens. You know what I mean? It can't just be like, on this day, this is what's going to happen. To a T, you can do it. Like, I've booked in these sessions to do this. But like, the really, like, the greatest ideas and the greatest things come at the most random times, I guess.
Yeah, it's like hanging out. It's like we're trying to organize this outing to get somewhere, but really the spontaneous stuff is the best outings. Like,
that's a great example.
I need to organize my birthday, yada yada yada. I'm gonna do this, that. It's gonna be great. The build to it is gonna be
the mistakes, the things that don't go to plan is what makes it in the end. Yeah.
The ones will be like, you call up your boys and be like, you want to do something tonight? And it's like, let's go to the city. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Well, like that.
To be a
really
good night.
That time you, me, and Gomez went to Yumcha at night and ended up driving bumper cars while that Sensation Festival was on. That was fun.
That was on the spot. It's like, there's a time zone type of place upstairs. Let's go. It's like, oh shit.
Can you put a random clip of that happening? Just sneak it into this video, because it's a good night.
Yeah, it was just us three guys reaching their 30s, going to a Dodgem cars. And there was like a 13-year-old controlling the thing.
Yeah,
she didn't care about it. We're like the last people to ever use Dodgem cars that night. So she was like, "Do whatever you want." We're just going back and forth. You know, we weren't going one direction.
The funny thing was, do you remember there was that group of like fresh Asians, like straight out of China, very timid. They were there before us, and we're watching them. They're just like tame as shit, like beep, beep. Like really like lame as shit. And as soon as we get on, we're just like, later when we get on, we're just like, bang, bang. There was like no mercy.
Out with one
no mercy. We're like,
boom.
And then the hardcore trance music was playing. We're just doing these. It was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, it was cool. Like, we legit were drifting crazy, so bad that we could smell the rubber.
Dude, I
burning.
You know,
It
I
was
just
crazy.
bought my iPhone that day as well. Or, like, not that
Yeah.
day. I just bought my iPhone. I actually got worried because the impact of the crashes that we were doing, I was actually worried that I would actually get physically hurt. It was so hard.
We
The
get
impact.
whiplash from that shit.
I was getting whiplash. I was like, I'm going to drop my phone. And then these guys don't care. They'll run over my phone just for the laughs. They don't care.
We hope you're recording it on your phone, and then we just
They're
run it
running
over.
over.
For content, you know.
For the content, mate. That's exactly it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
that's what
back
I
to
wanted to
that
get
point.
at. Sorry, back to
Yeah.
that topic. That's like literally because that's been something that's been weighing on my mind. And you caught me at a good time that I actually feel like this. If you caught me at that maybe like a couple days ago, this conversation we're having now be completely different. I was like, hey, yeah, I don't know, feel like shit. Yeah, whatever. Because like it came to me this morning, but mind you, the past 3 days, I've literally been locked in a room trying to make something. And I don't know what it was, even kind of
I
thing.
think next time
got dark,
you should
bro.
get out
Get
do
out
something
sooner.
that'll like relieve your stress.
Yeah, like I know your point that you're getting at. Like if you're doing this, move on to this thing. And I was doing that for 3 days. Like, yeah, I was at one moment I was mixing music. One moment I'm songwriting. One moment I'm editing a video or whatnot kind of thing. One minute I'm doing my social media, trying to like revamp it, promote it. And I realized like I kept going around, but I don't know, because it's sort of the same grind. I was just like always anxious about it. And I think that's what it is. I got to a point that it was just too much. And that was this morning. And I'm like, that's it. I don't even have an idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to go to the city. Like I have no plan. I have no reason to be there. And I'm just like, F it. I'm going to go and just do whatever. Just walk around, go to a coffee shop and sit there and not even think that something's going to come to me. And the moment that I had switched that mind frame, it happened in the gym. Can you believe that?
Yeah. All right. Bad analogy.
Yeah.
Bad analogy. But
Okay.
it's like when you're eating a lot. You eat a lot. You just love eating. You love eating. That's like your career or whatever. And then you eat a lot. And then you just can't do it anymore. Sometimes you need to chuck a shit to eat again. You know? Empty
You need
the
to get it
bowels.
out. You need to empty the bowels.
Get it out.
Empty the bowels.
And then you can eat again.
Do I
You can what you love doing.
do I smell a song title here? I mean, do I smell a title for this podcast? Clear the bowels, mate. Clear the bowels.
Clear the bowels. Clear the bowels. That's it.
King of analogies right here. Boom. Raf. I like that.
But yeah,
It's
I'm
true.
glad
Very
that
true.
I'm glad that you're back on the ball. I
Thanks.
really hoped next time we could get you off the ball, just to get different content.
What am I, like your test guinea pig or whatever? Like just like,
Yeah,
I
man,
want
this
to
is-
break
this
him,
is your-
then
this
bring
is
him
your
up,
Truman
then
Show.
break him.
The whole point of this podcast is to analyze. You know, at the end of the year, I'm gonna have my thesis and everything set out and my conclusion or results. You're just an experiment for the year, bro.
It's like Black Mirror, Skype edition.
Yeah, man.
Wait, good idea. I'm gonna have some water as well.
But
Sorry.
yeah. So
That's
I think yeah,
that was
just
pretty
clear
much
your
my
mind,
topic,
man.
But I just wanted to bring that out. Like, it's not really a question. Like I said, I just wanted to sort of get your take on it. But I wanted to like dabble into that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I've been listening to a lot of Bruno Mars lately because I'm going to his concert next Tuesday.
No joke. Next
Yeah,
Tuesday.
man, it's gonna be awesome. Next Tuesday, he's here for like a whole week and like a week and a half. He's got like 5 shows here.
That's right. Shiv
And
got you
then,
the. I remember that. I was there when she gave me.
Yeah,
the
you were
tickets.
right there. Yeah,
I was there. I took
You
a
were there,
sneaky
and,
video of that because I thought there was gonna be like a magic moment between you two. So I was like, but then you kind of was like, oh, thanks, babe. Woo.
I'm really, I have a hard time expressing emotions.
I can tell. I was like, oh, they're gonna have a moment. I'm like fucking Ted in the background. You're having like a Lily Marshall moment. I'm just like, and then yeah, that was it. The transaction was, oh, here, babe, here's some Bruno Mars tickets. You're like, oh, thanks, babe.
There's a lot of love there. It's
Nah,
come,
I could
come
feel
to a
it.
point that my marriage
I could feel it.
is,
I could feel the
is
love
just
there.
code words and code stares, and that it's all good.
Speaking of
But yeah,
concerts,
I've been listening to a lot of
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars, and then what do you feel about this whole this cultural appropriation thing that he's been accused of?
Whoa, I'm not with you. I didn't know anything of this. What do you mean? Like, can you
There's this
explain
whole
it?
situation. There's this whole story. I don't know if it's going viral or stuff, but like this whole story of Bruno Mars is, I think an activist, a female African American activist, kind of called him out, saying that he's using black culture to financial gain, to gain this, like his main like music is, and he's using his ethnic because he looks kind of black, but he's not black. He's like Filipino, Puerto Rican, so he's using that as an advantage to use black culture to get financial
hijacking
gain.
it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
kind of like.
Why would you single him
like
out?
how
How many
Elvis did
people
that
how many people use like black culture is hip hop pretty much? Like it started off in hip hop. How can you single out one person when it's such a like universally everyone all cultures do it now? It's
because
Asian
he's in the
rappers-
spotlight right now. He's in the spotlight. He won like 5 Grammys. And
Exactly.
He's the like, if it's not him, it's gonna be someone else. It's gonna be Macklemore. If it's not Macklemore, it's gonna be
Exactly.
Eminem at a point,
Exactly.
or like
G-Eazy, you got I don't know who else.
But right now, the guy in the target, in the crossfire, is Bruno Mars.
I don't know. That's a bit silly. But people just want something.
It's backfired anyway, because a lot of people, like African Americans, came out to support Bruno Mars, saying that his music is great, and he always references where he got his inspirations from. And he shouts out his artists that he loves listening to when he was a kid and all that. So he's always referencing. Maybe it'll be different if he had a different personality and he never referenced saying everything else is his own shit. But it's obvious Bruno Mars, nearly all his songs has been inspired by something in the past.
If you take the whole race thing out of it as well, right? It comes down to artists' authenticity, or how genuine they are in terms of when they do a certain style of music. Like if you're a rapper, or if you're like doing that sort of style of singing, and especially if you don't come from that culture, like maybe like he's Filipino, he's Asian, or even when like Eminem, Macklemore, you can tell the authentic artists have studied that culture and they respect it enough that they've gone back, they've done their due diligence to really soak up knowledge behind that, so they pay homage to it. You can tell they respect it by the way that they pay homage to that craft, to that music. Like you say with Bruno Mars, he's always like, referencing back in history. It's not like he just came out and he's got the voice for it and just there's a difference when you see someone really hijacking it. I'm not going to name artists in particular, but you can tell if an artist isn't genuine or not, kind of thing. And that's up to the audience. And obviously these activists, to an extent, maybe some of them don't think he's as authentic as the majority does. And you're always going to have haters. That's the problem. That's when you're at that caliber of fame, there's bound to be certain groups that are going to be like, yeah, man, he's just hijacking our thing or whatever. You know what I mean? And at the end, he's a public figure. It's going to come down to the audience. So I think majority will be like, nah. That's why you got a lot of black artists like that'll stand up for Bruno, because obviously
he is talented.
Look, this is a example. I'm just gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it. Iggy Azalea, Australia. Yeah, I don't care. Like I'm not a hater. I don't care like what she is. But a lot of people, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of people would say there'd be a majority more people that would say she's actually just hijacking it. Like she doesn't really seem authentic. And it comes down to the authenticity of the artist. And it's just a balance. Like you can't win. Like a lot of people will stand behind Iggy and be like, nah, she's the real deal. See,
it's a good topic to talk about because we are Asian people doing hip hop, and hip hop has branched out to more than just the culture. Like it always have the core of like African American culture. That's where it's been born and raised, and everything is. But it's gone so worldwide that it's come to a point that Asians are doing it. Australians, Caucasians are doing it.
The funny thing is, because we're Asian, right? And then we were in Australia when we're doing it. Well, we still are. The funny thing is, because we didn't have the Australian accents, what we were doing wasn't considered authentic. It's like, how can you call yourself Australian hip hop? And then I'm like, how can you call yourself hip hop? Because like when you take it another level, it's like, well, hip hop is hip hop, so why are you being Australian? You know what I mean? Like it just keeps going further and further. Like it started as black, and then Australian hip hop did their own thing, and because we're from Australia, because we don't sound like that, keeps going down the line. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. you're coming to a point where it's just if you're pleasing a group of people, you're not going to please the other one.
You can't make everyone
please
happy.
them. You're not going to please everyone. It's
You
a
can't.
fact
Yeah,
of life. You can't.
That's
make
exactly it. You can't do anything about that. It goes down to the audience, what they consider as authentic or not, and at the end, it's really up to the artist. Like if they genuinely are authentic, it's like that's why I didn't care. I'm like, I don't sound Australian when I rap. You know what I mean? That's just how I sound. I can't change it. I'm not gonna put on an accent. That's how I'll actually deliver it. Because I speak Tagalog. That's like my second language, which is Filipino, and we sound American. Like even now, like when we speak English, sometimes my pronunciations the R's will be a lot more defined, and sometimes I just sound Aussie as shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just really.
That's what it is. Like that's me. And like if that's the crowd that's not gonna appeal with me, then it doesn't bother me.
You know, you don't need that crowd. You know, you need something that will just accept your artistry for what it is, rather than what it should be.
Filipino Aussies. You know. Mount Druitt crowd, Blacktown.
But I could understand the whole like thing because like I remember when I was doing my music, I tried to set back a bit because I realized that I was putting on a full-on American accent, and I wanted to, you know, try to keep a core to balance it out. Like because I say particular things, my lingual accent will just come in, as in like I try to, instead of saying can't, I'll say can't.
Yeah.
If I say like, I don't know, I forgot any other ones, but yeah.
Look, these are little tweaks. And it just comes from evolving. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that, like, oh no, this is how I talk. Like, you evolve eventually, right? Like, I think there was some times I just sound completely different to what I did sound like in 2005. And when you're young, you just, you know, you're trying different things. If you're an artist, you're not going to sound the same forever. You evolve a little bit in that sense. But at the end, like, it comes down, like, once again, authenticity. If that's really how you want to, that's what makes you you. It's always going to be up for debate. In a sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just funny how like
it's just funny
when it comes to hip hop, the accent is really kind of a big deal. Well, and then when you're singing, if you're doing a song, everyone sounds American for some reason.
Yeah.
Except for a few, but like no one really talks about that.
I think it's more so because with songs, I guess, it's more about the melody or like literally the sound with singing. Because with rap, you're having a conversation. It's like you're talking as well. So I think it's more prominent, the accent, when a rapper talks as well. I think that might be a lot to do with it. But what would I know, right? What would I know? It's a good topic.
Just an Australian, Asian hip hop artist
I'm confused. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know what I'm going for anymore. I'm just like, whatever. Like I told you, like when I do something, it comes out like that. Comes out like that. That's it. As long as I know I was true to myself, y'all.
At the end of the day, bottom line, Bruno Mars is a talented artist, and I can't wait to see him in concert.
Can't believe that came out of just going to Bruno Mars, like that massive thing. I'm jealous of you, man. Like I was hoping to bring my mum to Bruno Mars, but obviously I'm not there anymore. I could have got her a ticket, but those sold out quick. I remember they were gone, those tickets.
Yeah,
and
man.
I think resale was crazy.
Bruno Mars is coming to a point that he's coming to a stage where he could sell out arenas like that, like Michael Jackson back in the day. And I'm thinking Bruno Mars is gonna be reaching that legacy.
You mentioned this
of stardom, of friggin'
that level,
that level, like that god level. Like he's unbelievably talented, and he just keeps evolving. Like I remember, like I listened to his music today, his latest stuff. And then I remember his first album. His first album had the Lazy song. And the Lazy song is something that you hear a YouTube artist. I'm not downplaying YouTube artists, but like, you hear like parodies and all that stuff. It's a parody song. And then he just evolved, and each album has its own flavor. And it's his own thing. Like, and it's just crazy. He's just been consistent at the same time evolving, and he's just going to be one of the greats.
Well, that's what sets you apart. If you're like that iconic on that level, you got to do something to get there. You know, if he kept being Lazy song, Bruno, I don't think he'd be at his level that he's at now, kind of thing, as well.
Yeah, man. Like comparing his first album to his latest album, or like even the last album. I think when he dropped that Locked Out of Heaven song, that's when he made that shift from I'm a bit I need to be taken a bit more seriously.
Maturity.
Than,
artist maturity. Yeah.
Because that first album had Just the Way You Are, which is like,
a bit poppy, yeah.
It's a bit poppy, corny type of wedding songish type of thing.
Yeah.
And then his second album, he just thrown in all that sex appeal type of thing, and did a lot of like serious type of songs. You reckon I'm taller than him? I reckon I'm taller than him. I think he's like 5 you're the
foot.
same height. Yeah. I think you guys are the same height, or maybe even small. I think he's probably shorter than you.
I think he's shorter. Ali, give me that. I think he's really short, man. Like in the videos, Cardi B was towering over him on the MTV performance they had. Was it MTV?
Yeah, all his videos is low. He has a low
tiny,
angle.
Bro. Yeah, he always has to have a lower angle.
It's always looking up. It's always, the camera's always looking up in his music videos.
It's tiny,
if
man.
you've ever noticed, yeah.
I noticed like a lot of these artists are tiny. Even like, remember ages ago when we interviewed Apple?
Apple.
Dude, that was hilarious. Me and Raf, back in the day, I was supposed to do the interview. So mind you, my uncle works at SBS. So we went with him to I don't know, Black Eyed Peas was touring, and then he had an interview, and my uncle's like, you want to come along and interview Apple with me? And I'm like, yeah, can I bring a friend? And then like I was so nervous, I ended up getting Raf to do all the questions. Do you remember that?
And that was the beginning of my radio career and the end of my radio career. Because I think
cool.
the funny thing is, I don't know because I never saw the results from that interview.
Me neither. Yeah.
Don't tell your uncle, but he probably listens to this. Or your mom listens to this. But what do you call it? The microphone. I think I left it at the place and then never gave it back to your uncle.
Well, there you go, Tito. Raf owes you a microphone. Owes a microphone at SBS. Bill it to Raf Flores.
Yeah.
I'll put his address down here.
Like 10 years later.
That was hilarious. Remember, like we were walking around the corridors, and we were just hoping to see like Fergie or Will.i.am. Like,
we were stands.
Oh my
but
god!
At the time, because we weren't fans of Black Eyed Peas.
No, we weren't really fans of them.
But knowing that we could meet them, we became stands.
I was ecstatic, man. And remember, dude, I don't know if you remember this. We saw LMFAO practicing, but we didn't know who they were yet because their breakout
see them. I mean, like, I saw them, but
you saw them, but you didn't know that it was them. They were just walking around with their crazy outfits. We didn't know who they were, and they were practicing. And then literally like a month after they blew up, we could have taken a photo with them or something.
I know. I remember that because I remember being like, oh, this must be the Black Eyed Peas entourage because they're dressed weird.
Yeah. They were the opening act, LMFAO. I was like,
and then we were full like they're like the journalist people were like all over Apple, and then these LMFAO guys were just looking. I remember them looking and being like,
they were
what's going on? I was like, what's going on here? It's like everyone is on Apple. Probably like the second best the third best Black Eyed Pea, and then
I'd give him second at least. Come on, man.
I'm pretty sure it's Will.i.am then Fergie.
Nah,
Apple.
Not after that national anthem, though.
After that national anthem, she's number one, bro.
Wow. Okay. Anyway,
but at that time, it's just funny how time changes. They were just these random people. People thought they were like the entourage of Black Eyed Peas. Literally. 2 months later, they're just number one.
They blew up. I forgot which song that they did to get them like blown up the way they did. But out of nowhere, they just something happened. That's crazy.
I remember seeing them like these guys are weird. And then one of those guys from the entourage, their entourage was full like, oh, where's the PS3? Where's the PS3? I'm like,
I remember.
Fucking divas.
Hey, do you have any more random funny stories of meeting famous people? Because I've got one, but I want you to share first if you have any like that comes to your head. Do we have any together? Like, I think that was the only one that we had together.
That was the only one together. I met Lupe Fiasco.
That's right.
You met him concert here at the Metro.
Walking around in Sydney or something.
In concerts, you expect the artist to come the back doorway.
Yeah.
Lupe, before his concert, I don't know if it's his thing at the time, but he went through the front.
What?
And then we were lining up. We're
like
front of the line.
Lupe.
Yeah. And he was like shaking people's hand. I'm like...
Was this
talking about?
Was this
I
food and
I
liquor?
talked to him.
Food and liquor era?
Yeah, Food and Liquor Lupe.
So this is
yeah,
like
yeah,
his
yeah.
prime. This is his peak as well.
This is his beginning stages, his prime before everyone jumped on his shit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey man, I can't wait for your concert. The weather turned out great. I'm like, it doesn't matter about the weather because like it's indoors, but like the weather turned out great.
What a stand! What a guy! Just saying shit. All this filler talk.
Yeah. It's like, yeah man, had a good flight. He talked about his flight and then he left.
Hey, did you get a photo with him?
Yeah, we had a photo. I can't find the photo.
Got
it was
it.
me. Remember,
It was
DJ
you an
Architect?
architect. Yeah.
Architect, yeah. Me,
I remember
DJ
that.
Architect, and then Lupe, and then
That would have been like
It's
one
somewhere.
of your biggest stand moments. Hey, you're like,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
that's
I'm like,
so my idol.
yeah. And I talked about the fucking weather. Good going, man.
You're buckled, mate. You're not. You weren't Cheatcoders mode yet. Right now, I'm pretty sure you'd have a lot more to talk about. At least you got to meet your idol, because I know you, like, Lupe is
He's
ticket
up
off.
there.
Ticket off. You've seen him. Like, I'm never gonna meet Eminem, bro. Never. There's no chance.
And even if you do, you haven't met. You can't meet him in his prime.
Yeah, it's not the same Eminem. If I could see him back in 2000, different story. But kind of everything.
How old
in
were
life.
you when you're 2000? Like 2000 was like when you're like 8.
No. 2004, I graduated. So that was like I was 18. So I would have been like 14. Because I remember like Marshall Mathers LP or LP. Marshall Mathers LP came out about that time. And I remember I had to go to HMV to buy the copy. And I was packing it because it was R18. So you weren't allowed to buy it. And like I knew some places were denying people because they had to show ID. But I got lucky. And I remember it so vividly because it's just so nostalgic for me going into the HMV, and then they literally have the posters, the poster boxes, just Eminem everywhere, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to get this album. And like it was just magic, man. Listen to it first time, I was like, holy shit, this is so good.
It's like when you're trying to sneak into a club underage.
Yeah, mine was just getting an Eminem CD.
I got snuck into Space Nightclub when I was 17.
What was that for?
We were performing. We had to perform. Or something,
I remember that. We used to get into clubs quite a bit because of the rap
because
stuff.
like we had to perform and stuff. So I was like, oh crap, I'm not even 18. It's like, don't worry about it. We'll get you in. Put a stamp and stuff, and I just got in.
Boom. You remember
I don't know if I'm
early days?
snitching, but that's like 17 years ago or whatever.
Our early days of clubbing, we didn't even club. Like, it never appealed to me. Like, I didn't like it. People, I guess our age back then, would club to club, like to party, to dance, to drink, to pick up. We'd go clubbing because we had a gig. And then most of the time we'd leave and then just talk about it. And then we'd feel so awkward because we just weren't that fucking cool. Like, the music was the only thing. I can only speak for myself and you. Jokes. But like, we weren't very cool. You know what I mean? The other guys were kind of cool. They'd fit in, but not us.
We were the geeks of the group.
We were the
I'm
geeks
pretty
of the
sure.
group. And like half the time, like I'd just be waiting to perform. Like, all right, I'll get a drink. I didn't even drink that heavily. Like, I'd have one drink and I'd just be that awkward dude, just trying to sidestep, just waiting, like packing it because I know I'm gonna go on stage, and all these people, like chicks dressed up, all these dudes, like the dudes that Ella talks about, the HKs, like, don't look at my girlfriend though, I'ma hit you, kind of thing.
You can't be really gangster looking and serious when you're just dancing doing the two-step. It just doesn't work out,
It doesn't work out. Those are the days.
Trying to intimidate someone while doing like a electric slide it doesn't work, mate.
It doesn't work, mate. Exactly. No, that's it.
Man, I remember the times we'd perform and then we'd stand in a corner and have our own meet and greet, but no one attends.
Yeah. And half the time it would just be us,
like, oh, good
to the
performance,
club
man,
beat.
good performance.
Because, like, we're trying to remember our lyrics. So when beats are coming on, we're just like huddled together, like trying. All right, I can't remember my verse. Yo, boys, let me just quickly do my verse, and we're like rapping to each other in a noisy club, and no one can hear anything anyway. We're just like, while all this club shit is happening. It's so funny. We just
What's the craziest thing that happened in the club for you?
Oh, dude, that's putting me off guard. Like, give me an example. Like,
I'm not gonna give you an example. Just give me a story.
Oh, dude, I can't. Like, music club, like as a rapper,
and no, as a person, I'm getting into the inner dwellings of a Natz blazing mind of his past. I don't even know if that makes sense, but yeah. Tell me a story about like
think, dude.
The craziest thing that happened in the club. Not the craziest thing, but I just want a crazy story.
Well, there was a time that I went clubbing, and basically 3 girls I was seeing were there at the same time.
You had your break moment.
And I didn't know what to do. You were there, Raf, and you're just looking at me, and I'm just paralyzed. I'm like, I can't do anything. I literally can't do anything.
They're literally like in a circumference of 3 meters, in a radius of like 3 meters. You had like 3 under your radar. It was crazy.
I didn't enjoy that night at all. I was just sitting down. I'm like, Raf, I can't do anything today. I can't even dance. I'm just stuck right now. Can we go home?
Drake moment, man. That's crazy, man.
Well, I wasn't seeing them at the same time, but I think there was like overlap, and then it was it was a bad moment. It was not really. It's kind of funny, but it was not good. That's not too crazy. Look, if I'm gonna say crazy, I don't know if I want to share too much of that shit, but I can't think of anything right now. So, no, that's it.
Okay, cool. At least we got that Drake.
Well, what's your crazy story then, eh, Mr. Crazy Club guy? I can think of some off the top.
I'm not a crazy. I'm just the guy who just dances on podium.
I was gonna say that. This is a very rare era. My friend Raf here has been married since, well, only like 2 years, but like practically in a serious relationship since his 20s. So when I tell you Raf was the guy that used to dance on the podium, that actually happened.
Not the podium dancers that got paid to dance on the podium.
No, just
those douches that actually be like, yeah, I could dance. I'll just go on the podium and start dancing.
You were doing these? Yeah.
I was having my little own performance because like people would just hype me up and it just makes me more hype.
Dude, I was one of those guys like, yeah, Raf, you killing it, bro. And in my mind, I'm like, what a guy.
What a guy. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm killing
it. That was at like, what club was that? The one in Martin Place bar or something.
Various clubs.
Yeah, I remember that because like this was when you first started going out with Shivy, and for some reason you went clubbing every week. You went clubbing every week. I think you had an intervention after that. She was like, "Hey, we have to talk. you have a problem."
It's just like at the start of a relationship, it's just like, okay,
party.
We can be a bit loose, whatever, and then you just have to tighten it up after a certain point.
Yeah.
And then now I'm here, married.
Hey, Raf, respect. Look, as a friend, I'm gonna say this because it's on air. For a married dude, though, you balance it well. Because I don't have many married friends that I still can say that I go clubbing with. Because we did go clubbing quite a bit last year, and you were there.
Yeah, man.
You control it. You have a threshold. But you manage that well. Like, it's fun. I like hanging out with you. Especially half the time it's you just setting me up for failure. But it's fun.
Yeah. Drunk times are great. Especially if you can control your drunkenness. Yeah. I think it becomes more fun.
I think I'm trying to master that.
If it becomes out of control, then it's just bad.
Yeah. You can get that from me. Yeah. Get that from me. Yep. It's not fun. Kids, it's not fun. Control. All right, so follow me once again. My links are all still Natz Blazin', Instagram, now on Snapchat again, Facebook, and I think that's it for me. And Raf?
Yep, follow the Cheatcoders. We are now on Apple Podcasts, which I'm happy with. Yes. I'm going to try to get into Spotify, and so we can get it more to Android users. And we are also still on Mixcloud. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of it, the Cheatcoders. Just search it. And for the Apple Podcast users, please give us a 5-star review. It would mean a lot.
A lot.
5-star review, please. We want to climb the charts.
And comments.
Comments are great. I like reading comments. I want to do the thing. Every time someone gives us a 5-star review, we'll read the comment out loud on the podcast.
Ooh, incentive.
Give them a shout out. Yeah.
Hey, do I get one? Because I commented. I commented on it.
All right, let's go through them now. I'm gonna go through them now, okay? Because I got to think. Let's just speak for a bit, and then I'll get it out.
All right. My name is Nathan. 31. I currently reside in UK, United Kingdom. I was born in Sydney, Australia, and we're not gonna use this.
Okay, so. This is just a shout out section for the people who gave us a 5-star review. If you want a shout out, give us a 5-star review and we'll read it out to the audience. So we got great listen from Shivy Ready.
Well, that was forced.
I recommend this to everyone who wants a laugh. Perfect for a long cruise.
Who was that?
That should be ready.
Oh.
5-star. All right. 5-star from Christian Joseph.
My man, Chris Joe.
The title is Deaf's Worth a Listen. Such a good listen. Added to my daily podcast.
Nice.
All right. Next one is Legit by Lucky11.
Legit.
I'm pretending he's legit. 5-star.
Boom.
And it's
Fives.
honest podcast between two good friends plus guests over everyday and not so everyday topics. Keep up the good work, guys.
That's a good review.
And then
in depth.
there's Yeah Mate by Nathan Blazing. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so
Hey, who did that long one? Who did the long one?
which one?
The one
Legit?
right before mine. Yeah. No, the
Yeah.
between two friends and was that Lookman's?
No. It's one of our fans, Lucky11.
Oh yes. Shout outs to Lucky11. Thank you. We don't
Thank
know
you
you
for
though,
your
'cause
support.
you're a fan.
Yeah, look, man. I heard you have a podcast with Don Valix. Shout out to that podcast
Shout outs.
in Singapore. So
Worldwide.
have a good
everywhere we
time.
go.
All right, sweet. We're gonna end it right there.
All right. Cool.
Everyone, enjoy your day. Subscribe to everything that we're on, and we'll see you next week. Hear from you next week.
Peace.
Give us feedback. Everything.
Give us a topic because we're just talking shit. Technically, we should be thinking of that. So yeah, my bad. Anyway, peace.
Or give us topic. Do our work for us. Peace.
Yeah.